All right, welcome back, folks. It's 8-5 here, going up against Misfits and Team Liquid. Both of them fighting for a slot in the upper bracket final of the playoff group here at the Americas Minor. We are going to be getting started. I actually think it's, by the way, 7-5, not 8-5. So they have
false alarm. There's a flag on the
fix
field.
That real quick.
There's been an error and a flag thrown on the field, and we'll deal with that. So I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait a little bit. That's okay. We can talk again. We can talk again.
Sure.
Yeah. How you been, man? I know you've been rocking out.
Right.
You've been rocking the shoes out. You've been rocking the phones out.
I've been tired actually. Very tired for some reason.
Is it the weather you think that's doing it to you here?
Maybe it's either that or the constant time zone changes, which we're gonna have to do again tomorrow.
It's the good Canadian food that's done you in, isn't it?
Yeah, I haven't had like any local food. That's the thing. We've been eating at like chain places for the most part.
Well, I was telling you last night about some Canadian customs in elementary schools that we've done. Getting the syrup on the snow and you roll a stick in it.
Sounds disgusting.
Never been to Balls Falls in your life?
No.
Very Canadian things, of course.
Yeah, not about that.
That's okay. All right, looks like we're all good. 7-5. Money's looking right. Looks like we'll be jumping into this one. So this is the round actually where Liquid went for that half buy where they got the 1 UMP and pistols. So I think that would be the same case into this round. I don't see them switching that up. They could get, of course, 4 AKs out, but it's so late into the half. You have max loss. Nothing's been working for you, and it's the exact same buy with the leaders getting UMP, CZs, and that's what we'll be rocking with.
All right, and so they did manage to restore everything properly, so I think it's finally time to go live. Once again, folks, we do apologize for that little bit of a delay with getting the matchup fixed. We had to make sure everybody had the right money and everything on the round, as I think someone was missing an AK or something like that, so they had to give it to them. Anyway, we are live again.
No, we're not.
Oh.
Team speaks.
Wrecked, of course.
You had to say something.
You hate to see it, you know.
You really do, don't you?
So it is not live on the
No,
as far as I know.
Actually, would this be fourth time? Fourth time was the charm. We promise.
Oh, I think it's the third time, actually.
All right, never mind. Then it stands. The old saying goes. Wondering what Liquid are going to go for in this round. With just only having the buy is going to be identical in the next one, so you guys can't see it, but it's 3 smokes, a couple flashes, 1 UMP. These boys are laughing it off, at least on the Misfit side. They're having a great time over here. Because they know if you have a good CT side on Cobblestone, it makes your T side, which is typically favored by most teams,
I would just be
a little less pressured.
Be careful, by the way, about talking about specific details. So
They have soundproof headphones and white noise.
no, some of them had their stuff off. Could talk to the admins. So
Hate to see it. They know their money's broken, though. They know more about this game than me do.
You just gotta.
Not my fault.
Don't want to give out
Not my fault,
exact buys and stuff like that.
To be honest, don't really care.
All right. Well, I think I don't want to jinx it, but I think we're good. 5-second buffer after the round.
Yeah, don't
starts
jinx
here.
it this time. Double ops for Misfits. Nothing's really changed in that regard. We are live, so that's a good
Oh,
change.
you just
isn't
jinxed it.
Did I?
No.
I think we're actually
No,
live.
I think we are actually finally live, guys. So welcome back to the match once again. Liquid, after starting off very well, are now trying to make a comeback happen, as they are down 5-7 here, with Misfits having the big advantage to play off of. Liquid going on to essentially just CZs, other pistols, and a singular ump on a lead. They're going to end up with a relatively light bot round here, and they'll just play it slow. They'll end up exercising some control over the map here now as they head in towards drop, and I think they're actually going to try to go a little bit quicker about this and split through drop. The problem is, though, is that their players in drop just get absolutely destroyed. Dev was going to be able to hold off for at least one, spins over to find Stanislaw 2, and even handles that last player. Nicely done by Devo, a beautiful hold in the suicide area. That's going to easily give Misfits their 8th.
No problem whatsoever. Now in round 14 is when Liquid will get the AMP back out in JDM, plus all the rifles and full utility. It's been a great CT side for Misfits thus far, very safe, not taking too many chances, but they also have they've known when to aggressive and when to fight plat. You've seen Sick get aggressive down there once, peeking for information quite frequently. And Sean Garris has done a nice job of not falling, or at least not perishing in drop room. You don't see too many players playing in drop room. Sean has done it once in a blue moon so far into this game, and perhaps that is catching Liquid off guard, having an actual player set up in there, as he's been liking to play towards window side. As Liquid are going to slow the pace, play more of a spread default. And now Misfits will have, again, I mentioned they're playing 2 players here on rifle rounds, and that is not going to change whatsoever with the French duo actually being set up over there.
Liquid again choosing the slower path to this play style here, which I'm not too big of a fan of considering how it's worked out for them so far in the map. But again, if they can get this early entry, it probably will align well for them. But with limited utility, and probably going to be running quite low on time before they execute, I am somewhat worried. Oof. The Liege, though, sneaks out onto ramp and just barely stays alive after we do see Almanac trying to pressure him from the edge of A long. Now Liege will be able to push forward, and this time the drop split works out well, so it's a good execute finally coming out from them. Almanac will trade for 1 kill, but now he's been pinched a little bit, and the Molly's going to send him even further into the closing area here. Stanislaw will even be able to push forward into the lane, take him down, steal the op out of his corpse, and then Devadivek, well, he'll find 1 trade. Twist actually, hold on, oh no, these players on Liquid, they're overstaying their welcome all across the map, overextending to a huge degree, and they've just given back so many kills, they didn't even get the plant yet. Now it's all on JDM, he gets the first kill in a 1v3, but he still needs to look for 2 more to clutch this out, and he only has 20 seconds left now to plant the bomb.
And the bomb's down in a weird spot, and keep your eyes on Sick. As JDM will get into sight, has to stick to this plant, no choice, and there you have it, Sick will swing. And that is another great round for Misfits. Liquid, they're able to get up, and as you mentioned, the drops that worked out, Stan getting out towards balcony. But then the 2 Frenchies towards long A were able to do a great play there. Well, while the Opper of Almanac was able to get 1 kill from Stables, he was stuck. He threw the smoke in which Devadivek came through, and then Liquid had pressure coming from mid, long A. There's an op posted from double doors, and then they kind of just, or a connector door, and then they just ran into a lot of problems where they got picked apart 1 at a time, and now at around 15, it's WMP, triple AK, and Misfits may just get a 10-5 half from the CT side of Cobble, which is certainly not what I was ready or expected. Liquid have really yet to waken up.
Definitely, they are going to hear this quick rush from Liquid as they are going to try to brute force their way up onto the A site here finally. Close battle, but Almanac will win that. There's a great flash down below, too, from the CTs to blind these players out. Devo, nicely done, saves his French brother's life as he takes down Twist. Stan fires back, but it's a very short-lived story for him, as now only Nitro stays alive in a 1v4 situation here. He's left alone, trying to clutch a nigh impossible round now. And ultimately, will be boxed in, finds 1 more kill there, but that'll be the end of it as Misfits secure round 10 to close out the first half.
Really great half for Misfits. It's Devadivek and Almanac to really lead the charge, 18 and 19 respectively. That double op for Misfits really found a lot of impact. And it wasn't even Shazam finding the impact of the op, it was more Almanac. As we saw there, a great double kill peeking from tree. He wasn't really hampered that entire half. He was able to just float around with his op, the double A setup, locked it down near the later parts of this half, and Misfits being just very passive in towards B. Sean Garris holding towards drop, only got caught once there, and Misfits not really wanting to fight Plat that much, and I think Liquid were banking on more of aggressive plays from Misfits, peeking Plat, getting aggressive, and they just simply didn't. They played to their game plan.
Oh, so this has been a big surprise so far, and now we're going to have to see if things will continue well into the second half here as a Misfits. They'll end up with a 10-5 lead. If they can secure the pistol, they'll be able to push it forward even more so, up to a very dominant 13-5 scoreline. However, as far as Liquid are concerned, they absolutely have to try and get some rounds on the board early here, and not just the pistol in the second rounds after that either. They need to win these gun rounds. We saw very, very few picked up from them in the first half, and once again, things are going to start off well for the Misfits in the beginning of this pistol. Twist will catch a trade. Oh, Liege, a great spot from him, too, to take down Sean. This has caused a great split of the members of the Misfits, but regardless, they get up onto the A platform, and they're going to find their opportunity to plant.
Very quick pushes from Liquid. Almanac is going to be very confused when he finds no one coming from this side. As Devadivek and Sick are a little low on the HP side of things. As Liquid have walked all the way up on site. They haven't even getting spotted on the cross. As Sick is pinched in sight, needs some help from Almanac. But now Almanac is the last one up, and the bomb's not even planted for him. He is going to be able to jump out, has to fight. He has to try to find a Liege in a moment. If not the diffuser, out of bullets, that's it. That defuse is coming through. Oh, no!
Oh my God! What was that?
No way!
Jesus! Misfits Dominic goes in. I'm not even sure if he meant to kill the player that was defusing the bomb there, or whether that was just purely the bullets aligning. But he shoots him in the head after his teammate goes in, and look, he lines up the shot and even stops Elige from hitting the last knife hit. How unlucky do you have to be on Team Liquid for that to happen?
That defuse was probably
oh my goodness.
a second or so off, too.
I had to be less than a second easily.
That is... You know, I mentioned getting kicked yesterday with a steel toe. That was a sledgehammer.
That's a tilt right there. That's a tilt.
That has to definitely hurt.
I'm amazed we didn't just see a pause from Liquid just to, like, calm everyone down because, wow.
Now, Misfits, this is a great start to the T side. They didn't win a CT side pistol, but coming in with the 10-5 half and picking up their T side pistol, if they can cleanly convert these rounds, Liquid are going to have a 10-ton weight on their back to try to fight it off. No matter how much JDM can squat, it might not be enough.
Spotted the two of them at least, so they should have a pretty good idea. They're probably going to throw some pressure at B here pretty soon. And we can immediately see the rotates to accommodate that, even with Elige dead.
Yeah, I like this. Sending Omniac first with a MAC-10. He'll do a little bit of scouting. He's out of utility, so he's just worth his movement and eyes at this point. Misfits, again, don't have to take too many chances as they found Elige. Simple trades as they get out towards the site. It looks like they are just going to shift back, and look at it starting to get a little antsy here. Sean will stay around and just drop all his utility. He may even just commit just to find some frags and keep these Liquid members here. But keep an eye on how close this player from Liquid's playing.
Look at this, Liquid. They're looking for revenge.
Too, yeah.
That was their round on the pistol. They want it back now in the second round, and they're going to be very close to getting it here. However, Misfits will bulldoze their way up to the site. No, they don't notice that Nitro's up on platform. Omniac did get a kill onto a player hiding in heaven. The problem is Omniac's trapped himself now. Nitro Smart goes up on top, jukes his opponent, and is able to get into a position where he'll remain safe, and Twist can completely upset round. Liquid do a good job now of getting back on their feet after obviously throwing away what should have been a one pistol round for them.
You win the pistol round in that fashion just to lose to upgraded pistols. They trade blows, that certainly hurt. As Misfits, they're talking about, we're going to discuss what they would like to buy into this one. And they too are going to just purchase back into it if they can trade rounds early with Liquid like this. It hurts the CTs more than it does the Ts. As it looks like it's just going to be a simple hold for Misfits, nothing crazy, no rush. This is a good way for Liquid to get back into it if they can control it. I said if Misfits get to clean 3-0, I mean, to start this half off, it's going to be hard for Liquid. But now that they're able to control this and reel back into a manageable state, this game can ultimately turn at a moment's notice.
Well, Misfits have started to move in towards A-Long. They've got some decent control over it. Stanislaw as a result. We'll get pressured back a little bit more here. But we do see Misfits pulling out of A-Long after their group had been spotted. And they'll just leave Shazam in to watch for that. For the others, they're all rotating over, I believe, towards drop here now. They're going to drop in and make another execute attempt. Twist, though, sees this, hears it too, but he can only get one kill. It's not long before we see more trades rolling out for the Misfits side of things. They've already found 2 kills on their own. For the most part, have completely cleared out the A site. Stanislaw just backs away from the site in its entirety and heads into mid-connector. And Liquid will attempt to rotate into positions, but I think they might have been outwitted on this round. Not even sure if they're even going to attempt the retake.
Shazam is in the money spot here. May get pinched and they're not even going to clear for him. Shazam can really end this round by himself. Leeds isn't going to expect it. Will finally clean up that Deagles. Omniac's going to find JDM, and this round is going to go Misfits' way. They trade him, and that's 12 for Misfits. They've double the Liquid rounds. And now Liquid gets sent down to 1,400, which stings as a CT. I mean, you really have no choice but to force back. And they'll get what they can. Now, if Misfits drop this round, I mean, it's just crazy. So hopefully Misfits can stabilize this, get 13, force Liquid into a double save.
Even if Misfits lose this round, though, it's not a terrible thing.
Oh, no, trading like this is still
trading
really
like this
ideal.
still favors them in the long run, as long as they eventually win the sequence of trades. But, I mean, even if they don't, right, it's only going to serve to essentially keep the lead the same as it is, and then just slowly allow Misfits to get closer and closer to 16 rounds. They just kind of crawl up towards it. And then they'll still keep a 6-round lead or so in the process. The status quo is not changing. Misfits are just getting closer and closer to 16 rounds, and they're slowly dwindling down the amount of money that Liquid will have on these force buys. Like, for instance, on the next one, you'll just see the pistols. You won't have these extra bits. That ump probably won't be there, things like that. Sick, though, is going to move in. He gets the first initial kill, and they are going to push right forward up onto the site. 1-2, and now 3 kills for Sick, and he even gets another 1-2. Nicely done. Clears out the entire site. Only Nitro left alive now, and obviously we're not expecting a full-on 1v5 from him, so it should be an easy round 13 for the Misfits.
Nitro may get a parting gift in a rifle, or perhaps one of these SMGs. But Misfits will be the real winners into this one, getting 13. Liquid are going to be put in a spot with only 2-round loss, and they bought down pretty much to $0 on everybody. So you're going to be looking at $1,900. It's going to be a full save. It's going to be 14 for Misfits before rifles actually come out from Liquid, unless we see, again, a crazy upset with just some bare-bones pistols. But it's just Misfits actually winning their duels into this.
And Sick hitting some nice entries there. 4 kills on that last round as he clears out the A site pretty much all on his own. And we'll take a nice little look at the replay on that now. See a nice job done by him. And even when he's caught off angle, still swoops in. I take down Twists there. Still no pause seen from Liquid. They do have to go for a save on this round after dropping that. And the problem is after the save, I mean, it's very obvious. It's right in your face there. But the scoreline is going to become very, very drastic here for Team Liquid 2, as we're going to be looking at 14-6.
Yeah.
And the buy from Liquid won't even be that great going on the next round. I think that they'll be able to full buy in terms of rifles, but utility's still going to be relatively weak, which is terrible for them. Stan already spotting the push of ramp. There's not even really reason for Misfits to kind of mask anything. They're not going up against too much of a buy, so they can just go on a pretty straightforward play. No reason to, to do anything super advanced there. Just keep it stupid simple in this case. I'm sure they'll lose a few players probably to not checking positions carefully like we see there with Twist, but besides that, it's a pretty clean mop-up as we're seeing now when only Stan is left alive here in a 4v1, but with a measly little USP. It's just a matter of time before he dies.
Yeah, I think he's going to try to get the best of Sick here. That nade, well placed. And yeah, there you have it. But I just jumped around the corner. So 14, the money from Liquid, it is just going to be M4s and very little. And they're going to buy here. They don't live in a world where they don't. At least I don't. And it's just going to be kitless, mollyless, very limited for Liquid. And perhaps this is where we see a bit of a risky play from Liquid. Perhaps a boost into towards drop room, a long A push, because it is hard to hold on to plat and drop and such on cobblestone with only having smokes and without having any of those mollies. But it looks like it's a double up mid and a 3 towards B. And if Misfits go into this one very quick paced, they could certainly overwhelm these Liquid members.
See the X2 coming back into it, but Liquid and the others here, Elise and the others, I should say, from Liquid are still trying to set themselves up. Twist will get 2, but the trades keep rolling back in from the Misfits. Their control is too dominant. With all of their trades, including the last 2 there from Sean, they bring it all down to Stan, who tries to lurk into the site, but with Sean getting the final kill and a massive 3K in the round overall, that puts Misfits up to map point 15-6 right now over Team Liquid. And Liquid's force going into what could very well be the final round is not going to look that good at all. Look at these kills, too. Almanac and Sick, 26, 25, and even Devo at 21. 3 players over 20 kills. This is like pretty much a kill per round on every single one of these players right now, which is very, very impressive.
They're the trio that you really want to wake up. And Shazam doesn't always have to be on this roster. It's nice to find him having some impact. And he's had some rounds where he's found impact. It's just he hasn't had to, right? His teammates have been doing all of it. As Elige is just having a rough go of this game. Getting 1-0 start for Misfits would certainly be a storyline. just based on the David and Goliath almost kind of story here. As you can see how slow Misfits want to take this, not rushing into it. They want to close this game out now. They know Liquid's money's been broken, and this buy is going to be just completely shattered. No chances for Misfits, which I think has been the storyline of the entire game. Just no chances being taken.
Right now for Liquid, they will continue to play very sort of like a passive-aggressive style here on the B site. They're not trying to move in for any additional intel, but they are holding these very close angles to try and take immediate contest on Misfits if they even attempt to push into the site. So Misfits still trying to figure out how they want to go for their execute, but they themselves are also running low on time. This was a mistake that Liquid was running into quite a bit in the first half, is that they wasted too much time on trying to set up the actual execute, and they didn't leave themselves enough time to play things slowly on lurking out and scout for intel. So this could actually work out well for Liquid and let them stay into the game. Sick, though, finds the first entry. That's not what they need. They don't expect the second player to be over here at Broken Wall, though, so he's going to strike back, and he gets 2 kills sitting in that position. They look to trade him, which they will do, and they pick up another one. So they're back in control, 3v2, but they only have 10 seconds to play. Devo will go for it. Unfortunately, though, Devo's now going to be left alone as he loses both of his teammates here. Tries to peek out into the sidewalk, but no. Nitro shuts both of the remaining players on Misfits down and secures at least one more for Liquid here as they will go up 7-15.
Overwhelming with numbers is what Liquid had going for them there. JDM had support from his teammates and flashes coming over, so himself under Broken Wall is able to get 2. And a big play from Nitro and Stan to find the players protecting Devaduvek in the last few moments here. As yeah, you can see the flashes come in from Liquid. It may blind JDM, but it doesn't matter. It still allows him to get 2, stay alive for a bit longer, and his teammates get more time to get into position. As now, the question is, does JDM go glass cannon here? That's what intrigues me here, because he hasn't had the op once yet on CT side, of course.
There we go.
And he didn't find much on the T side, so perhaps the CT side is his time to shine, so he will go into it. Not even an upgraded pistol, not a pinch, not a flash, nothing. As Misfits will have everything they need again.
Well, Molly's onto the ground at Broken Wall here, trying to stop any initial fast play from the Misfits, which not entirely sure that they wanted to try and go for that anyway. You can see Devo trying to get some vision out further out onto the platform there. However, is not able to see a whole lot just yet, mainly due to Liquid going back to a more passive setup. This is where the Misfits were able to get really good entries going, though. Liquid just didn't really seem ready for the executes. The timing on it didn't work out well. This could again be the case if the execute follows through at the right time here. They've kind of missed that chance now. Liquid are set up again. But I can imagine them getting ready to go in here in these next few moments, and that it does seem to be the case. That does indeed seem to be the case, excuse me. So now they've thrown a few smokes out, but
I don't know if they're. I don't think this is. I don't think they commit to this.
No, they will.
They have to wait for Shazam to come though, so they're just gonna wait. Yeah, they're taking it very slow.
Way more time than before. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They can still slow crawl out platform. Like last round, they couldn't do that. They had to rush essentially because they only left themselves like 15 seconds to execute. Here they can do it in a much slower fashion, so they can actually look for these players. They saw the player up on boost just yet, but no, they didn't. Elijah's going to be able to strike, picks up a first and second kill, along with JDM tagging additional player. Fortunately, JDM doesn't actually get any kills. It's just Elijah stealing them all from him, but still, the job's getting done anyway. Only 2 left alive here now. Now 1 for the Misfits roster. Liquid, great control exercise, and Elijah's about to get an ace here. Oh no, denied by Shazam, however, but he's still knocked out of this round. And pretty soon, he's going to waltz around the corner. Doesn't even realize it yet, but Stan is here waiting.
Oh. Stan? He wanted to do it to him. Alrighty. Well, you know. Alright. Still got the job done.
Even juke the op shot. That was the best part about it.
Misfits, this will be their final full buy if Liquid are able to still string the 3 together. Of course, Liquid can't drop around. So it will be AKs. Did Shazam get an up? Yeah, so this is all the money. All the Easter eggs in one basket. As Elige, that's what you love to see from a player from his stature, just a solid 4K back sight. Even if, as you said, JDM doesn't get any frags there, it's just the Elige show with great support from his teammates. As it is quick now for Misfits.
Yeah, they're just going to bust out right onto the site this time, and somewhat sloppy smoke cover us, but it's enough to get them out onto the platform. They don't check Chicken Coop, though, before peeking top platform. And what's even worse is that they burn onto their player here too. Shazam and Devo, though, getting those additional kills, they're going to buy more time for them. Ominek makes a bit of a bold push, and it's only going to net him one kill on the fact that Elige was blind. Stan trades it back out, brings it down to a 2v2. The bomb's been on the ground now for about 15 seconds, and we're about halfway through the timer on it. They spot Devo up on platform. I'm not sure if they're aware of where Sean is playing from just yet, however. He's going to stay very quiet, doesn't have any utility to play off of. Devo, though, holds on his own, now down at 1 HP. It falls to Twist to clutch this, and oh, while he will take down Devo, he's still going to watch out for Sean. He'll move in, looking for an opportunity to defuse this bomb, and Sean sits back, waits ever so patiently. Twist cannot find him, so Sean will peek out, gets the closeout, and it's going to be Misfits that take control of map number 1 in this best of 3. They take it 16-8 and go up 1-0 in the series.
I am very impressed by how just composed Misfits were throughout that entire cobblestone. They took no chances, very little risks. Against Luminosity, you could see the sloppy mess-ups. You could see the misplays. You could see the missteps. Shazam perhaps overcommitting on Plat against Luminosity a couple times. None of that happened in this game. Very clean, very minimal risks. But you knew the risk and reward. You could see them going into some setups where you see the risk, but you also know the reward because they're set up properly. They had great setups. They got so many rounds on their CT side. It made their T side just simple. And the money was just in such a terrible position for Liquid throughout that entire game. It was hard for them to tighten those shoelaces and try to fight back into it. Misfits really came here to play today, and you can see how hot they were at the beginning.
It's the story of very steady improvements, I think, over the past 2 or 3 days here now, and especially in this matchup, gargantuan performances from the 2 French players along with Sick. The 2 players actually didn't show up were, interestingly enough, Shazam and Sean were a little bit lower there on the scoreboard, but we had easily over 20 kills for the other 3 players on that roster. Really showed up, really made massive impact there, and that helped for them to shut down. Unfortunately for Liquid, the T side, as we saw, was just a little bit too one-dimensional oftentimes, and Misfits were able to pretty easily read into that, start shutting down those hits pretty quickly. So, with that said, they just didn't get a whole lot done in that first half. I believe we ended up 10-5, and then they just tried to close out from that point forward. Quickly shot up towards 15 rounds. We saw a few more picked up by Liquid there towards the end, but obviously the lead was way too big for them to come back from there. So Misfits did eventually close out, as we saw just there, at 16-8. Now, we are going to get ready to go on to our second map, which will be Train, ladies and gentlemen. Do stick with us, and we'll be bringing that to you in just a few minutes here as the road to Boston continues on.